Hi, welcome to another PlayBASIC blog. Today is the 9th of December 2017. Today we'll quickly be talking about our latest state of the PB165C revision, which we'll go into in a second. But more importantly, I just wanted to get this across to people that we are looking for information from people or ideas, more importantly, probably a better way of putting it, about we want to make some game making series or a series, and we'd like some input about what kind of game people would be interested in seeing. Of course, I put my obligatory link to Rygar because hey, I like that game. It's a fun arcade. But I'm not saying we'll do that. We might do something. Might just do a Mario game, or maybe a even simpler sort of classic coin-op game like well, maybe not Space Invaders, but maybe like a Galaxian or Galaga or one of those ones. Something that doesn't require loads and loads of graphics to be created and lots of map layout type stuff. We just want to kind of get a game running on screen, show how to handle things like obviously loading the media and constructing the scene and handling the things that we need to handle within the scene, like collisions for one thing, and any behaviours that need to be handled. That's obviously very important. Let's check out this link here to Rygar Arcade. It's on the forum as well. What is this? Oh, okay. Yeah, it's just a link to someone playing Rygar. And the one at the bottom's quite good too, from memory. It's kind of a layered platform game. I don't know if this will capture, so I might sort of not worry about trying to play them. But anyway, check out the Remember Rygar thread on the forum. The one at the bottom was quite good. Blue Kid 2. It's sort of a, I guess like a Mario platformer with sort of angled floors. Something that you could probably do in a video tutorial series, or something simplified, something pared down from that anyway. Which is kind of the key, really. We want them to be just too complicated. The episodes are a bit too long, too drawn out, too many mistakes are made. Walking through how something's going to work, and then going, oh well, I've got a better idea, and trying to reinvent the wheel all the time. Now let's get on to what I actually wanted to talk about today, which is the good old-fashioned PlayBASIC 165C revision. At the moment, that's at build or beta, I think it's 15. And that version is completely independent. So it's standalone. Includes the new command, calling, conventions in it. What else we have? I've just gone through all the error reporting stuff in the old libraries, and they've hooked them up to post an error message back to the new runtime. So that actually works now. So if you did something like a bit of code like, draw image 100, just comment that out there for example. If I ran this now, you would get a runtime down the bottom there. So it's saying parameter 2 is incorrect. Well, it's a compiled error actually. We'll draw image 100 at position 10, and we'll make it to do a straight blit, an opaque blit rather than transparent. So that should compile and run. And when it runs, we'll get an error like this, which is a runtime error. And the command itself is popping this error back to the runtime. This is the problem with the we had in earlier versions. It works in this version of 1.65 because the error trap has actually been caught by the old runtime. We still have that mix. It actually has two runtimes in it. Even though most of the code is running on the VM3 or the newest runtime, it's at every now and then it's falling back to the old runtime to clean up things and do other background tasks. Actually, to keep the show running, which is no longer a part of the current build anyway. Beta 15 doesn't require that. So you can trap errors now. You can trap errors. I found a few command sets that probably don't have great error posting anyway. So that might be something that we can look at improving at least, you know. It's one of those things where it's a small gain, but I have a feeling that someone's program out there will just start popping runtime errors because some command that used to be liberal about a media existing or not has become more strict about what it allows and what it doesn't. Okay, so we've got a standalone runtime, which is VM3. Got our new calling conventions in here. Got our error trapping here. But really, as far as the user's concerned, it doesn't really do anything different than the previous build, the 1.65C. And which is kind of frustrating. I understand that. But just trying to get it to work is hard enough as it is. The limited time. The main drama at the moment is that debugger, the communication between the new runtime and the debugger. So how it works is that when you compile in debug mode, there are breadcrumbs that are placed inside your program that send information to the debugger or allow the debugger to kind of stop and hold. So we actually need to renew the way that works because the new runtime is, well, it's not as nice in some regards. It's actually a little bit more strict. So we can't sort of get it to stop in certain ways. But it's just a matter of going back through and reimagining those instructions. And the debugger itself is looking at, well, at the moment it's kind of looking at, he's kind of written a wrapper that will remap the requests back to, so when you click on something, I'll just show you. So if you have dim table, in case you've never seen this before, sync wait key, just put a break in front of that actually. But you compile this in debug mode. It's kind of the light debug mode, which is F7. It's hard to see it on screen there, I guess. We go to variables. Make sure that's stopped. We hit table and we'll output the array to this area over here. So the way this works is it's kind of, again, it's doing a bit of magic behind the scenes to look up where this array actually is in memory, because the debugger is still thinking the bytecode is in the old format. So I've written kind of a bridge to kind of move the two things across. Some of that I might just leave. It works well enough the way it is. Other things that really do need to be updated. You know, which is frustrating, I know. Some modes there that won't even work. This mode here won't work with the current build because the instruction set has no knowledge of what this is even talking about. Oh, this is what I mean. This error here is occurring because my emulation layer between the debugger and the runtime are not working at some point. This is a memory consumption layout, by the way. It runs through all the command sets and gives you an estimation of how much data each command set's using. It'll run through, like, if you have images in memory, it runs through each image and give you itemised usage of what they are. Same with sprites, maps, etc. And it's a handy way to actually see what's happening inside your program without actually having to build your own one into your own program, which you could. It's not that it's anything difficult to do, but it's built into here anyway. The scene to console option, which is, it outputs the current state of the scene buffer, which is it's like a drawing stack really. When you turn those modes on, each draw request gets sent to this stack, and then when a camera goes to render the scene, you tell it the position of the camera in space after the things have been drawn, and it will sort the things into order and cull the ones it doesn't need, which just in that case just saves you from doing it. But that feature there is actually there, so if you're having troubles understanding what's going on with your scene, you can get a list of what requests were actually put into the scene as you went through. Not the kind of thing you're going to be using all the time, but handy nonetheless. Occasionally handy, I should say. The state here, if you haven't looked at it before, it gives you an overview of how much media the main command sets are using and what their current maximums are. You can change the maximum anytime you like, by the way. What the current surface is, the current font, the ink colour, the scene details, as we were saying before, and a bit of basic runtime information. So the VM case refers to how many allocations or handles have been allocated, and there's out of 4K that are available up front, and there's nothing on the stack at the moment. So I haven't got sidetracked onto that. I guess the real thing here is just getting the debugger to understand. It has to understand the new app structure better. It is actually working. It does work, and kind of some stuff sort of works the same as what it did before. It feels much the same, but then you'll find little errors like were happening before. There's something like crash when you click on it. That's obviously the things I want to try and avoid. But the runtime itself is running completely on VM3. There's no legacy in it at all. I do have a lot more of these calling conventions things to run back through and complete, but I've kind of left that till afterwards, because I think I can do some of those by just running a little program to build new versions of the tables. So maybe some more error tweaking for the C revision, and hopefully getting this debugger to be stable and understand its environment better. I'd love to externalize it, I really would, but I think for this build I won't bother. I'll just get it to work as it was working before, and then worry about, is it time to cut that free? Which, who knows. Okay, that's all I wanted to say today. Just wanted to keep it nice and short. Thanks for watching, thanks for hanging out, thanks for using PB, or just taking an interest, really. It's good to see people still have some interest in it, and we are not dead. Feels like we are, but we're not. Alright, so thanks a lot, and I'll catch you next time.